know what time it is! I am so excited to get this box because it is the July Elves box, and that is the Succulents one. I have a lot of ideas already for what I want to make with this, so hopefully I can make my ideas a reality. But enough talking from me, let's go ahead and open it. I'm so excited. Oh man, I see a lot of really exciting stuff in here already. I just love how simple this book is. It's like, so simplistic. Here are all the contest winners, and I remember seeing each of these online. They are so pretty. It's impossible to choose which one is the best. I'm really hoping we got some regular clear UV resin in this box. So far it's not looking like we did because I am almost out. I used up all my UV resin. We got crystal art gel, which I saw them do like a teaser video where they were making their own succulent leaves just on a silicone mat. And they were using this, and so I wonder if it's a different consistency than regular resin. I just thought it was regular resin. We got some clay that looks like stone. We got some succulent molds, and I don't know if they press together. They don't look like they press together. Some fake flowers, which I'm so excited for. That's where a lot of my ideas are coming from, is this fake flower box. I'm so excited. Little rocks, toothpicks. Please, I have so many toothpicks. Some opaque UV resin. Looks like gray? Gray? I'm just so used to vibrant colors, so gray seems random. Gray, orange, and green. Little miniatures. Oh my gosh, this miniature house. Stop. Look at this little miniature house. How stinking cute. I wonder what material it is. Maybe I can paint it. Oh my gosh, the ideas. They just keep coming. I need to stop because I'm not going to have enough supplies for the things I want to make. That is for sure. Big pebbles. So these are the premium add-ons. Big pebbles. Hold on. Hold on. Pebbles. Big pebbles. Watch out. Watch out. We got some blue sand, which maybe I can make look like water? I wonder what I could do with that. Maybe look like a river? And a hanging terrarium. This is like the whole reason I subscribed to this box specifically, because I've been wanting a terrarium for forever, but with real succulents, not resin succulents. But I'm so excited for those. Let's see. So it says these are 2-part molds, but it's easier to use one side only when you're using it with UV resin instead of clay. To make succulents, use only the top lid and fill it up with UV resin and cure. I'm confused! Which is not hard to do. So the crystal art gel, it says that it's super thick and super fast curing. Use the UV torch to create your own shapes, and then use them for creating 3D succulent petals. That's what I saw on their like sneak peek. Oh, how funny. So the toothpicks are just so you know when they do like cake decorating and they make the rose petals on the stick thing? I think that's what they're saying to do with the toothpicks. Okay, and everybody, you still have a chance. Finally, I can show you a coupon you can still use. This expires at the end of August. So pause your screen and you'll be able to get a discount on August's box, which is dice. All right, now let's go ahead and finally dig into our box and see what we got, especially the molds. I am very interested to see how that works. Because the picture doesn't really look like they fit together, but apparently they fit together? I don't know. Oh wow, that's so soft. This is the air dry clay. I don't want to open it because it's air dry. I don't want it to dry out. I love that it has that like stone texture. Not texture, but I mean it looks textured. I can't talk today. Oh, watch out. We got our pebbles. Are these the large pebbles or the regular pebbles? I don't see the regular ones or the small. These look pretty big, honestly. I love that we got some different colors too, black and white. Oh, here they are. Okay. Okay, here's the pebbles. Here's the large pebbles. So, the regular size pebbles, I guess you would say they're small, are like the size of the gravel you would use in a fishbowl. If you're familiar with like having a pet fish, it looks like what you would have in a fishbowl. Like the multicolored ones. I'm kind of trying to find the more boring things. So like toothpicks. Everyone knows what a toothpick looks like. Here is our blue sand. It's very, very fine blue sand. Here are our miniatures. Here's the little seashell. Here's the little house. And you know what? This is made out of clay, it feels like. So I could repaint this and theme it after something. I have a really good idea. Oh shoot, I'm so excited. I have such a good idea for how to do that. And then here's like, oh, this is stone too, or clay. Yeah, that helps. But it's supposed to look like a log that was turned into a bench. I'm so excited about this! There's a little nut. What? Oh man. Oh wow. Oh. Okay, this feels like fabric, but this feels real. That's very strange. Wow. These have to be fake, right? And these can't be real. Oh, these are so pretty. They're so vibrant. Oh my goodness. Are these real? I legitimately cannot tell if these are real or not. They can't be real, right? Wouldn't they wilt? I mean, I know they're dried. I have clearly not been around dried flowers enough in my life to be able to tell if these are real or not. But they're so pretty. Oh, you get over here, you sneaky. I don't want to crush them either. Oh. So we got all of these. So these are just the regular UV resins. Is the gray, green, and orange. And these, I'm really, really intrigued. Crystal Art Gel. Got white, yellow, and green. I mean, I don't know why I'm showing you the label. It's not like it's a color, so you can't really see. Duh. Here is our plastic terrarium. You know, this is bigger than I thought it was. It's so pretty. Yeah, this is a lot bigger than I expected. I thought it was gonna be like the size of one hand, like just my palm, but nice and big. I do kind of wish this was bigger, because it's, I mean, I don't know how, that's gonna be kind of tricky to do. But I have so many ideas. I have so many ideas. Like, I need to order more of these. That's how many ideas. So many. I won't be able to make up my mind. Oh, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? You guys know molds are my favorite part. Okay, so this makes way more sense now. I didn't realize that each one was a lid and a bottom. I thought like one was the bottom, one was the top, and I was like, how are you supposed to fit these together? That doesn't make any sense. So, okay, I get it now. I love how these look though. So I'm assuming how it works is you fill all three and then you stack them together, you know, so it makes the bottom like an artichoke. An artichoke is the best way to describe what a succulent looks like. So you do like the bottom and then the middle's a little smaller. Do you like my succulent? This is a great succulent. So stupid. Oh my goodness. Okay, everybody, this is everything we got. I mean, my ideas are just absolutely flowing. I wish we had more of these, especially since it's a premium item. I would have liked to have gotten more of these for the premium price, you know? So I could make multiple things in an actual terrarium. But that aside, with this stone clay, I can make plenty of little pots and fountains and rocks. So it's okay. I love these dried flowers, fake flowers, real flowers. I'm not sure what these are, but I'm really excited for them, and I'm really excited to figure out a way to use them. Guys, so many ideas. Let's get going. I already had ideas for 2 projects with this box's contents, but before I jump into them, I really wanted to test out the succulent molds and the Crystal Art Gel resin. The included booklet says to only use the top portion of the mold if you're using resin only, and to use both sides if you're using clay, so I tested this out to see what the difference was. First, I made 2 resin succulents using all of the included colored UV resin. The colors are gorgeous, and the molds are really easy to use. But I definitely recommend working fast or using the crystal art gel resin, since it's thicker and won't run down the sides as fast as the other colored UV resin. Because I use so many colors, the 5-layered succulent looks like coral. Next, I tested the stone air dry clay. I squished it into the molds and pressed on the lids, and I let that air dry for a day. And these are weird. I'm not a fan. I'm not totally sure if I did this right or if I used them as intended. I think the 5-layer one looks the best between the two. The 3-layer one is tall and chunky, and the 5-layer one is more flat, but still tall. Although, looking at the shape, it could probably work for some flower designs. And here's a comparison with the resin succulents from the same molds. I definitely prefer the resin ones, but it'll be fun experimenting with these molds more later to see what I can do with them. Sophie and Toffee gave a preview of this box by showcasing the crystal art gel resin. They made a succulent on a toothpick with the gel resin to demonstrate how thick it is. But I had a hard time with this. So instead, I made a small pot out of the stone air dry clay and set that aside to start to firm up. Then I made little succulent leaf shapes onto my silicone mat. I made a bunch of different sizes and different colors. Then, once they're cured, I began sticking them into the pot in a spiral pattern. The pot was soft enough to stick the resin into, but hard enough that they weren't moving around. I did secure a few pieces with resin if they felt loose, though. Then I added a little hint of orange color to the tips. I love this succulent! I actually made a bunch more for my coworkers, and they had the great idea of attaching them to magnets for their filing cabinets. I wanted to see what would happen if I tried to shave the pot into a geometric shape, but you can see here it didn't totally work. It sliced really easily, but the clay on the inside is super flaky and messy. And now that I'm familiar with all of the new resin types and molds, I finally started on my projects. My first project is going to be a garden-themed ring. This weekend, my husband started a bog garden full of carnivorous plants. And my favorite is this tiny Venus flytrap. They're so interesting to look at and watch. So I decided to make a Venus flytrap ring. Talk about statement jewelry. I used the pancake mold from the July Elves Box to make the ring. I added green UV resin to the biggest ring and the same color to the smallest circle. Then I attached them together with a dot of UV resin. To create the fly trap, I made 2 small semicircles on my silicone mat with the green crystal art gel resin, and I attached them in the middle. Then to create the little teeth, I attached false eyelashes to the inside. I know, weird, right? Then I trimmed the eyelashes down and painted them white with fabric paint since it's more flexible. Then I finished by coloring in the rest of the plant with colored UV resin. I used light green by the teeth, darker opaque green on the outside, and reddish orange on the inside. Next I made a tiny little daisy in yellow with the UV crystal art gel resin. And finally, I made 3 tiny flowers in orange and white out of the tiniest succulent mold. To assemble the ring, I added a base of green UV resin and gently added the daisy, flytrap, and little flowers. And to finish the raw edge, I added a band of the stone air dry clay, attaching that with green UV resin as well. I love this ring. You all know I'm into cutesy kawaii things, but there's something about this ring that looks fierce and sweet at the same time. And I love how it fits. It's so lightweight. This looks like something Morticia Addams might wear. And now the grand finale. I have to make something with this hanging terrarium, don't I? I had a little to-go cereal container that was the perfect size for this terrarium. So I started by pressing some white air-dry clay into it. I want it to be grass with a beach and the ocean. I pressed the edge down to make the beach, and then swirled a toothpick around in the clay in tiny spirals to make the grass. Then I pressed the house into the clay to mark where it'll be later, as well as a place for a path and some trees. While that dried for the day, I painted the little house white with a blue roof, and with the lights on like someone's home. This color scheme reminds me of Santorini in Greece. I also made a tiny bench with the gray UV resin and little pieces of the stone air dry clay. Well, it's been a day and I can finally paint my little scene. I used a fluffy brush to paint green on the grass and then spots of light green too. I also went in with a smaller brush to try and cover up some of the white peeking through. Then I painted the beach a nice chestnut brown and added some dry brush details of lighter brown with yellow. Then I added the same color to the path and where the bench will go. Then my favorite part! I added a bunch of transparent blue UV resin from the July Elves Box for water. I created a textured effect on top by swirling and scooping the resin with a toothpick while it was curing under the UV light, kind of like how I did the grass in the clay. And to accentuate the little waves, I dry brushed some white onto the white caps and on the beach. I definitely want to go swimming here. I decided to trim off some of the plastic so the water can be seen better. Now I can finally put everything together. I added dried flowers as trees and the smaller flowers, the bench, the house, and a smaller stone rock to sit on, all with UV resin. I painted some gray details onto the roof and along the side of the plastic cup. And if you didn't already guess it, this isn't just any normal scene. This is a little piece of my island from Animal Crossing New Horizons. I even made a little DIY recipe leaf hidden behind the trees. I placed it inside my terrarium with some rocks, and I wound my LED lights way back from the November Elves box around the moss and placed that underneath. And to finish it off, I added a decorative burlap bow with flowers to the top. As soon as I opened this box, I knew I was going to make an Animal Crossing terrarium. Originally, I was going to make it super cartoony with big clay trees and characters, but I decided to go the realistic route. What if Animal Crossing were real? This is what my island would look like. Plus, the blue lights underneath with these rocks and pebbles adds to the fantasy and mystery of Animal Crossing. I love, love, love it! What do you think? Which one of these projects is your favorite? Would you ever wear carnivorous plant jewelry? And don't you just wish you could shrink down and go into this little terrarium for a nice vacation? I know I do, with a delicious mojito. Comment below your favorite project, or share what you've made with me on Instagram by tagging me, or you can use hashtag BunnieDIY. I'd love to see, and I'd especially love to feature your art on my stories. Don't forget to click the like button and subscribe by clicking the little bell so you don't miss any future videos. I post every Monday at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thanks everyone! Now go take a break, you deserve it. Love you a latte!